only. You don't really want to know about, I don't know, for example, netball or basketball or MMA or whatever, because you're fixated on football and football only.
Because that isn't true.
I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying that you can't shit on others. Yeah, he watches darts, and he's gonna say football is better than darts. What do you mean? He watches darts. That makes no sense. I watch golf from here and there. You said Dempo watches darts, so he's not one-sided for football then.
It is one-sided.
No, you're saying that nobody watches any other sport.
I didn't say nobody watched any. I said they're fixated on one sport, so they won't really care about all the others as much as this one, as the one they're fixated on. That's what I said.
Oh.
Dempo, I'm just giving examples, mate. You don't need to shit on other sports now. Jam just said Dempo watches darts, so he's not fixated on one. Nah, just think about how stupid that is. Jam, that's literally like saying I'm not racist because I've got a friend that's black.
Oh, it's not.
It really is. See, Deadpool, you just put in like videos of what Aguero scoring a goal or whatever. I've not seen it, but yeah, you literally just fixated on football. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just you're loyal to football, so you won't care about all the others. That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna shit on others either way.
See, Deadpool, you just put in like.
I'm not saying you don't only watch football, Henry, but football is your main one. Football's the one you're fixated on, the one you're most loyal to. So if I went and said which one's more better, basketball, football, you will say football. If I said which one's more better, football or darts, you will say football. No matter what you watch, you will always say football is better than the one, and you will always argue that point.
What's Kanye arguing here? Because no one says anything about a better sport.
Dempo, I can say the same thing about basketball. It doesn't make sense that the points you're making, they're all rubbish, because I can literally say the same thing for other sports. It's because you use the worst like points, man. It's so annoying. For example, you will say, I don't even know. Oh, my head's gone blank there. So one-sided, man. Being relegated. What's relegation got to do with a basketball game? Right, you're in a football. You're in the football league. All right, you're gonna get relegated. If there was a basketball league, you'll get relegated. NBA players can get relegated down to the G League. It's the same thing. Now you're just like comparing how the games are set. Like you just compare. Now you're comparing like what championships or whatever, all these cups to the NBA. Like, what's that got to do? What's that got to do with it? That's just the way the game's set. That's the way the league's set. It's got no difference to how good or better it is.
There's no loyalty or anything. Well, that's about the players, man. There's nothing that's happening in basketball that's like Leicester winning the Premier League. There's no loyalty or anything.
What do you mean there's no loyalty in basketball?
But you can't.
Jam, oh my god, Jam, what do you
doesn't,
mean?
though. It literally
The only
doesn't.
thing they only have exciting is the playoffs. What do you mean? So you don't find the games exciting? I find the games exciting. So that's like you saying
Why?
the only exciting part about the Premier League. I mean, the Premier League is the last couple of games because our score might be tight, so they need to get a couple more wins. That's like the same thing. What do you mean?
No, but like, do the playoffs even mean anything? Because the players who play just thought, well, let's switch team the next year. There's no like fairy.
There is fair. You don't have to switch teams. You don't have to switch teams.
Transfers aren't a thing. Isn't that a draft where like everyone knows who's gonna get picked? Or what's the point?
No one knows who they're gonna get picked. There's just something you can assume who's getting picked, but it's not official.
There's no deadline day.
There's no what Jam literally what from there.
No-
No one
no,
knows
there
who's getting picked. It might be said on ESPN, LaMelo Ball is number one. It was said he's number one. It's not official. It's not Bucks down. It's official that the Bucks might get number one pick, but they're not going to get the number one player that everyone thinks is going to be number one.
Yeah, but you know who the number one pick is, so like, where's the excitement? I don't get it.
You don't know who the number one pick is, Jam.
No, you literally. What are you talking about?
People can assume. They assume who the number one pick is. It's not official. LaMelo Ball was meant to be the number one pick this season. He went number 3. He got drafted number 3. You can't. It can be assumed if the club wants him and they get number one pick, they will take them. That's how you switch basketball teams. What do you mean? What do you mean I switch basketball teams? I've supported the same 2 teams for ages, and you know why I support 2 teams.
I'm not about the actual sport. I'm not about playing the sport. I mean, at the NBA as a franchise.
What's wrong with the franchise? Because I just don't like the points she's dragging because they're the worst points ever. The worst points ever.
No, I never said that.
No, yeah, football's a better sport than basketball anyway, but I'm on about, when I said it was shit, I mean the franchise.
You literally can't say football is a better sport than basketball. You can't. You can say, in my opinion, football is a better sport than basketball, but you can't say football is a better sport than basketball. If you literally look at it, the most skilled sport there is, basketball is above football.
But you look at it, No, I can say that.
You can literally Google it. Google it. There's more skill in basketball than football. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, that is the biggest lie I've ever heard, sir.
It's the biggest lie. It's the biggest lie. Google it.
That is the biggest
No
lie.
Google
way
it.
more
Google it.
basketball
Google
than
it.
football.
Basketball's more.
No way. No way.
Basketball's a more skilled sport than football.
No intricate. No intricate. You've got to place the ball. Messi's free kick.
I mean, it's a more
no
skilled.
intricate they are.
It's a more
No,
skilled sport
intricate they are.
than football. You're on about. You're right. Okay, Messi scored a free kick. That's a very skilled free kick. But overall, the skills in each sport, the way you get around the place, the way you move, the way you score a basket, compared to where you score a goal, or the way how the game moves and circulates, basketball is a more skilled sport than football.
Wow, what skill is it?
Then, Paul, you're saying that because you don't know the skill. You don't know the skill. You don't want to know the skill because you're one-sided and fixated on football. That's the only reason why you're saying, what is a skill, or whatever you asked.
It's all about physical skills, isn't it?
No, not physical.
It's all about
There is physical skills. There is physical skills. That's what I'm saying.
So wait, the best dribble in NBA history doesn't compare to Messi's dribble. It just doesn't.
What?
The best dribble in NBA history doesn't compare to Messi's dribble.
How are you comparing a basketball dribble to a football? Damn, it makes no sense, man. That's like me comparing a driver to a pilot. What does that even mean? Oh my god, man.
Not
It
really,
makes no
is it?
sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You can't compare a football dribble to a basketball dribble. You can't compare a driver to a pilot. Where's the logic? My god, man.
Can't
That's a
compare.
wilding, man.
There's nothing better than watching like footballers dribbles, but it's not just like this defending, there's attacking, there's tackling, there's understanding where you.
Then, Paul, I could say the same thing for basketball. The points you're using are the worst points I've ever heard because they can be switched and they can be reversed for the opposite point, for the opposite argument, mate. Oh my god.
There's nothing worse than when people just like generalize sports. It's like when like girls at like astrology talk about sports. Isn't basketball just putting a ball in the basket? There's just people there that stand there and put ball. Well, I don't know what points you're using. You said Google it. This is not a skill.
It is. I did say Google it. It's there. It's confirmed. I literally put it on my Instagram the other day. You literally saw it. I'm literally done with this argument because I can't. He's literally got the worst points going because the points he's used are so bad. They're the most like year 7 points ever. Like, oh my god, I'm done. I physically can't. He's gonna hurt my brain, man. Fucking hell.
Nah, the man, he just screenshotted. Nah, it's to remove a quick time.
You've had no points though, so I don't know what you mean. Your only point is that I only watch football.
So that's all you've got from what I've said. Because that's all you got from what I've said. Just shows how you're not listening to what I'm saying because you just fixated on football. That's all you will say. That's all you will believe. And that's what I'm saying. All you football fans will only believe football because you're biased towards football. I just don't know how Selly can say it has more skill. I can't be arsed with this shit, man. He's just so fucking one-sided. He's just so one-sided. I've said. You want me to say every skill and every movement with skill there is in the game? I'll be here for 2 days, man. Do you want me to get a book? I will buy the skill book and the playbooks and every book, coaching book, and I will read the skills here if you really want me to, and I will prove to you there's more skill and how complex it is, because that you don't understand. You honestly just don't understand.
Right, okay. I won't.
That's not all I've said,
going on
Sally.
your
I'm just
argument.
picking out one of your
I've wanted
points. It
more
doesn't
skill
make any
from
sense.
basketball.
Most of them don't make sense.
You honestly just don't want to understand. You aren't listening to understand. You're just listening to reply with a shitty point. Honestly, this is getting me
That's not all I've
vexed.
said,
Have
Sally.
you made
I'm
a
just
single
picking out one
point
of your
though?
points.
I have.
Seriously.
Oh my god, this is what I mean. I've made a single. I've made so many points. You aren't listening because you don't want to listen, man. You don't want to
You
listen.
made a single point, though.
Jam, shut up. You're not listening at all to what I'm saying. None of you are. I'm stopping there because you football fans, man, it's so one-sided, and like honestly, you can't argue with because it just ends nowhere.
No, he hasn't. That's what I mean. I've just said.
So
let
your
him-
points are saying that we don't have points.
That's all you got for what I said. Wow, that's all you got from what I said. That's all you got from what I said. That's silly.
So your points are saying that we don't have points. It's not a point. Alright, okay. Right. Just make your argument now.
Yeah, go on, Sal. You say your point then.
No, I'm not repeating everything I've said. I'm not repeating everything I've said. I've just been here. I don't know how long I've been here for. I'm not repeating what I've said.
So you've been done there.
I'll get up what I got on Google as well. It's the same. I could literally find the same thing for football, mate. It makes no sense, man. Let's get it before my phone turns off.
I know, it's hard to swallow.
When he loses the debate, he's only arguing this like, oh, he's just not listening to my point, or probably.
So you've been like shut down here, mate.
I'm not being shut down. I'm just not going to continue wasting my time arguing this. I have you because you're not. I've not been defeated. I'm not arguing with you like on
Shut down
my.
your point. I don't get it.
Shut down my point. I've said what I've said what I said, and I'm not going to repeat it again because for you to just fucking like reply with the worst like response ever, with the worst response ever. You don't reply with anything good. It's the same shit, and the same shit can be said the other way.
To the argument I said.
It's the same stuff I can say. It's the same
if
stuff
I'd
you can say.
if I'd never watched both sports before, and I'd watch a comeback
It makes
in
no
football,
sense.
versus
It
a
makes no
comeback in
sense.
basketball, I would get more excited of watching a comeback in football.
Honestly,
That's my
honestly,
reason
mate,
for
it's
that
no
doesn't
sense.
make any sense.
Honestly, mate, it's no sense. You can't say that. You're obviously going to say football because you're biased towards football now. You can't use that as a point. What does that even? That does not make sense. You can't use that as a point. Why are you using that as a point? It's, oh my god.
When he loses the debate, his only argument is said. Paul, that is literally the argument I said. That is
Listen, Jam, you can't say. You can't say that. Oh my god, I'm tired of this, man. You can't say that.
You don't have an argument. You keep saying you can't say that.
Can't say that. What do you mean? You physically can't say if you've never
That's
watched
your
football.
only
You never watched.
argument,
That's not what I've
say
said. That's the only thing you're taking in. What? It doesn't even make sense. Like that, the only thing you took in. You watch football for the first time. You watch basketball for the first time. You're gonna find basketball more. You're gonna find basketball more. Oh my god.
Tears, bro.
Jam, you're saying you watch basketball for the first time. You watch football for the first time. You'll find football more exciting, right? Well, you can't, because you're never going to be able to experience that. And you're going to say football now because you're more biased towards football. You can't say that. It doesn't make any sense at all. Oh my god, damn publisher.
So, I've got 3 points up to now. Shouting, just shouting, asking Google and saying you can't say stuff. That's all the only points you've made.
Okay.
That's literally it. That's literally the only points you've made all night.
Alright, if that's all I said, I'm just not gonna bother arguing with these guys again, because you can't actually argue properly when it comes like debating, because it's like children. You're like children, man.
exactly.
Because I've said many points, and you just don't take it in. So honestly, you do what you want to do.
See, do it again. Just say your points.
Right, you just keep saying say your point. I've said my point, and now you're saying you've not said any points. So you're just gonna say this over and over again. I said my point before, and you're just not listening. So I'm not gonna repeat it again. Waste my time. Obviously, I've got better things to do. Oh my days, sir. What are you gonna say, Jam? You said your point. The only points that you don't make any sense. That wasn't my point.
Shelly, come on, man. Give us 1 point. Oh my days, sir. What are you gonna say, Jam? You said your point. The only points that you don't make any sense. That wasn't my point. Oh my days.
There is Steph Curry. Steph Curry was the weakest one on his team. Look at him now. Shit point again. If you're 8 foot, Jam, if you're 8 foot and you're playing basketball, you guaranteed you're not going to be very well unless you're odd for you. You probably won't be. You won't even be good at 8 foot. What's 8 foot gonna do? You won't be able to move. God, shit point again. Honestly.
Okay, that point you can't even argue with that. What I've just said.
What do you mean? All NBA fans say Giannis is shit because he can only dunk. What's that saying?
So literally all you got to do is be told me able to dunk.
I'll start saying everyone hates Sterling because all he does is tap in goals. What does that mean? And then you get Dempo, he would say, and then you get Dempo who would argue why, and you get Dempo.
He's not the best player. Oh, you've not listened to what I just said.
You'll get Dempo that would argue, oh, Sterling does this, and that. Okay, I'd argue Giannis does this, and that. You don't see, like, it's not this is what they mean.
Chance of you making it because it's. That's not.
Oh, the phone's gone off, man. Fucking. I'm not turning that back on. That's gone off for the night. I hate arguing with football fans because you're the shit people, the most worst people to argue with at all.
I'm not even saying Sterling's bad, but Selly's just said everybody hates Sterling because he taps it in. So Selly's saying that somebody tapping it in isn't. I'm saying that Giannis, who dunks every single game, gets slated even though he's the best player in the league. So Sterling's not the best player in the Prem, and he gets slated for tapping it in, and he's not the best player in the Prem. That's what. So your point doesn't make any sense there.
Jam was giving an example. I don't know who the best player in the Prem is. I don't give a fuck about the Prem. I'll just give you an example. How your point can literally be said the other way. It doesn't make sense. Like you're trying to now I can't even go in the chat now because my phone's gone off. But it doesn't make sense. Also, here's a point. Football's a fucking weak sport. Honestly, it's so weak, so weak. You know how annoying it is to watch.
Bro.
You know how annoying it is to watch. You know how it is. No, honestly, you know how hard it is when I'm watching football and then I just see a player get tackled and they drop to the floor. Like it took a A-star drama class. Why don't they just get up? Honestly, Jam, tell me that. Why? No, my phone's off. Why don't they just get up?
Okay.
Tell me this now. Why don't they just get up?
To me personally, he can't watch football because the players dive. But I swear, the guys in the NBA are 7 foot and they're flopping around everywhere. I see it all over Twitter. Everyone always goes mad about it, saying like, "Oh, LeBron flops. Oh, LeBron's got the refs in his pocket." You sell it. You just contradicted yourself.
Jam, that's not what I said. Jam, why are you lying?
No, that you just.
Jam, why are you lying? Jam, why are you lying? Jam, why are you lying? No.
Okay,
you let me quote you, Jam. Jam, let me quote you, Jam. Jam, let me say what you said. You said Selly doesn't like to watch football because they dive everywhere, right? I said, that's what you said. I said football's such a weak sport. Honestly, the amount of times players get tackled and dropped to the floor like they took an A-star drama class is just stupid. That's what I said. Why don't they just get up and play on? That's what I said, Jam. Why have you gone ahead and twisted what I've said just so you can sound like you're spitting facts in that chat? Tell me why you've done that, Jam. Tell me why you've done that, Jam.